folks, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, what's happening?
Sam Healey. What's up?
His intros get more dramatic each dot 10.
I am Samuel of the Healey clan.
Today we're talking about exploration games, and so I kind of left this one nebulous, which is probably going to be problematic.
Oh boy, here we go. That's already coming, number one.
You gonna feel that?
Stop typing. Just listen to it.
You gonna feel that nebulosity.
So for me, when I did exploration games, they were games where there was some sorts of exploration in the game. Mm-hmm. As the game goes by, there was a sense of exploration.
We might be all right.
There were definitely a few games that would have made my list because they are considered, at least by BGG, Board Game Geek, exploration games. But you don't feel like you're exploring.
Well, you're going to actually argue on my number 10, I think, on that regard. But the rest I should be okay.
You'll probably argue 9, 7.
He's prepping us.
Well, look, I'm going to say one that I don't think anybody would have put on their list.
10, probably 2.
Oh, boy, okay.
And you're probably going to number 1.
Then I'll wait, because you might have one of these games on your list.
Okay.
All right, well, let's find out. Here we go.
Number 10.
All right, now, as per Sam Healey style, I chose to do kind of 2 5s and a 10. And,
The first 5 are games that are actually just in space. And the next 5 are underground.
That's actually really close, but it's not. That's not it at all, actually. It's the first 5 are ones that either have a exploration type mechanic in it, or whatever you're doing in the game feels like exploration. And then the other top 5, I think.
Yeah, that's my whole 10.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see.
And the other 5 are wrong.
The other 5 are no. I think the other 5 are actually where you're actually exploring new parts of the board.
Okay.
I'm totally confused. It seems like the same thing.
You'll see.
Here we go. You're about to be surprised.
Okay, well, my
number 10.
My number 10, here we go. My number 10 is a game that just got a new revamp and a new redesign, a new polish, a new artwork, new everything by Bruno Catala and Bruno Fedudi. Mission Red Planet. Mission Red Planet is my number 10. And the reason I put it as my number 10, not because I like the game less than the rest of them. I think this is the weakest exploration type game that's on my list.
Because you're basically just seeing what kind of minerals in a spot.
The first part of the game, the first few turns before you know where everything is, you're kind of exploring where you want to go by where you put your people on the ships. And then once you know where everything is, then it becomes more of an area control, area influence game. But that first part of the game, you're kind of exploring Mars while you're sending people up there because based on the secret objectives that you have and all that good stuff, you don't know exactly where you want to go, so you're kind of touchy-feely at that first part. But then once everything becomes open, now it becomes...
I guess I play differently. I don't really care. I just send my guys out.
Yeah, you just send your guys.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Like when you first said Mission Red Planet, I was like, not an exploration game in my head. But okay, the more you explain it, then yeah, you're kind of right. And then plus now, I mean not now, you always did that, but the cards you play around the board also sort of change when you are running into.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
So that's my number 10, Mission Red Planet. Kudos, very cool game. Weak on the exploration, I understand that. That's why it's at number 10.
All right.
And I understand... I was going to say it's weak, but my number 10 is also weak. But I like it. And my number 10, you don't actually discover new things. You're finding new things, and it's Thebes. Now, I know you hate the game.
I do.
Okay, but the reason I put Thebes on my list is because I'm reaching into a bag when I go to these spots, and I'm pulling stuff out, and it feels like, oh, I'm exploring and finding something new. Ooh, I found this artifact. Ooh, I found nothing. You know?
Yeah.
That's you.
You're exploring how crappy your expedition was. That's basically what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one I think would not be on the list if it wasn't for the theme also adds to that, the archaeological digging to it. You know, if you were reaching in a bag and looking for spaceship parts, it probably wouldn't make this list. And again, I understand that this one is a weaker version of the other. I will fight to the death for the other 9. Not to the death, but to great bodily harm.
Just got real.
Woo! But I don't know what it is about Thebes. There's a certain feel of just going in and finding stuff.
No, I'm on board with that choice. I think it's a good choice.
Right, because it's on his list.
Shut up. My number 10 is Ink and Gold. And Ink and Gold has that going deeper into the cave feeling. You never know what's behind the next turn. It's definitely... I like all the other games better, even if some of them have a slightly weaker connection to that exploration theme. Ink and Gold has a very solid thematic tie into it.
So you did yours in order of how much you like the game.
No, I mean, I tried to do it in how much I feel, in both how much I like the game, but also how much I feel the exploration is paramount. And Ink and Gold, the exploration is very good. I'm just kind of over the game at this point. So
Okay.
I still wanted it to be on the list, but it squeaks in really at number 10 because of that. Because that exploration feeling is so strong. So quick filler, probably the lightest game on my list, smallest game, number 10, Ink and Gold.
Well, that's weird. The lightest game? All right. This was on my short list. I thought about it, but yeah, I love Ink and Gold. I've played it probably 100 times. Okay, that's an exaggeration, like you say, but at least 50 times. I've taught to many, many people, and I'm kind of like, I'm good for a while. I think it dropped off my top 100 for the same reasoning.
Yeah.
But
Somebody delivered math homework.
a math test just slid under the door. All right. Well, let's go on to number 9.
Number 9.
All right, number 9 is a game that gets almost no buzz these days, but it has a good exploration feel to it from Plaid Hat Games, and that is Dungeon Run. In Dungeon Run, it's like the prequel to Summoner Wars, where you want to be the summoner, you're going to find the summoning stone, and so you have a bunch of guys who are going through and flipping tiles over and finding different rooms and monsters until you find the summoning stone. Now, I actually did not put on my list, I'll say this now, I did not put Descent or Imperial Assault, even though I like both those games, because the original Descent had a kind of exploration feel. The new one, you kind of see the map. There's not as much exploring in it, and Imperial Assault, the same thing. You see the map. There's maybe a little bit of exploration in them, but I didn't put them on the list. Dungeon Run, though, you like, ooh, here's a new tile, and you see the board grow as you go through it. It's a game that, like I said, hardly anyone talks about these days, but not only did it have a combat system I liked, I also liked the exploration aspects of it. So that's Dungeon Run.
Cool. All right, my number 9 is a Richard Launius game, which, as you said about Dungeon Run, really doesn't get a whole lot of buzz. I haven't seen anybody but myself playing it ever, actually, and I've played this with Sam. The game's called Pirates and Dinosaurs.
No.
And Pirates and Dinosaurs,
I still haven't played this one.
Haven't you? It's a real Amerithrashy game. I mean, it is like, chucking dice and getting smacked the whole time. But the game, in the game, you are moving your pirates and you are trying to look for pieces of a map and then you dig for treasure. It's a little bit like Thebes in that feeling where you're sort of finding stuff, Heavy on the theme. I mean, at the end, when you go to the end and you're digging for that treasure at the end,
Yeah, but most
it's a
of the
little
time
like
you're
that.
just chucking dice and attacking people.
Yeah, and
Feels
throwing
nothing like
throwing
games
cards
to me.
on people and stuff.
That's why I like it.
Heavy theme, fun game if you just kind of unplug your brain and have a good time,
I take offense to that statement.
If you're dumb like Sam, you'll love it. It's a great game. It's a fun sort of blast of, ooh, let's see what happens, and here's a dinosaur in your face and that sort of thing. So my number 9, Pirates and Dinosaurs.
A game for dumb people. My number 9, and I'm probably going to get crap from this one.
Oh, you are now.
I don't know. I'm just. It definitely has.
We didn't give you garbage to number 10.
I know, but
Now, I've been saving it up.
This one to me, I don't know. We'll see. It's a lot like the number 10. This one, but it has more of an exploration feel to me because when you flip over things that are on the tiles, you're actually you're immediately getting them, and you're the only one that's going to get it, and that type of thing. So it's a little bit more as you move out and as you...
We would argue with you, but we still don't know what game you're talking about.
It's called Nexus Ops. Because as you move out, it's a war game, I understand that, but as you're moving your troops, you're flipping over these little tiles, and either you're finding mines or you're finding more of the rock spiders or more troops and that type of stuff. And those are things that you're getting as you explore. And again, I know I have to do this, but as you explore through that planet, you're finding new things as you go along. And the reason this beat out Mission Red Planet is not because I like it more. I actually like Mission Red Planet more. but it has a little bit more of the exploration feel to it to me because those tiles hold different things. You know that the tiles in Mission Red Planet are just resources, but the tiles in Nexus Ops could be troops, could be a mine, could be something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 9, Nexus Ops.
I don't know why you thought we'd give you garbage over that. I mean, I considered that was on my short list, but I mean, I didn't put it on because I thought the exploration again in this one was, it's there. I just thought it was kind of weak. It's there. You're like, but you don't really.
Yeah.
I do care what I find. I'm like, ooh, money, yeah, or a spider.
Actually, more rock spiders is what.
You think so?
Not
I think I'd
rock
rather have the
spiders.
money.
They're not rock spiders. They're something else. I can't remember what they're called.
The things that look like little dinosaurs, or do you mean the spider itself?
Yeah,
I think it's something.
Is it
Strider.
Strider, that's what it is. Yeah, Rock Strider.
I thought he was the guy who was in Lord of the Rings.
Rock Strider. No, that's Strider with a Y.
Oh, is that how you?
I didn't hear the
That's how
Y.
you spell it.
Okay.
I actually would lean towards Mission Red Planet having a slightly stronger exploration.
I don't know. I feel like they're the same in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, but I don't know. I just thought Nexus Ops was a little bit more exploration-ish.
I'm feeling better about my list all the time.
Jeez.
Number 8.
All right, number 8 is the first crossover already, folks. What? Thebes is my number 8, a game that Sam loves. And in this one,
I knew he was quiet when I talked about it.
when Tom said, like Tom said, you are traveling largely, but then the excavation, I kind of consider that a type of exploration. And it's I like it a lot, actually. I like the thematic tie-in to we're going to go on a dig for 4 weeks and let's see what we got, you know. And sometimes you get nothing, but I like that the dig sites can change. So, like, if all the good stuff gets pulled out of one specific dig site, you know that a lot of the good stuff is gone. So, are you okay going there and getting a bunch of dirt, possibly? Are you going to try to get those last few good pieces of goods? It's a tricky choice.
You could go there first and find a bunch of dirt.
Yeah, and actually, the game encourages you to go to each place
And then try a different
first.
spot and find more dirt.
No, come on. There's some good
And
items
then
in
go
there.
to another place and
Huh?
find more dirt.
You're the
Someone
worst
had
player
it.
at this game ever, man.
I hate this game. It's so stupid. It's not skill. It's not how good you are at it. It's what you pull out of the bag.
That part is, but there's the card drafting. That lets you know. Like, the card drafting is what lets you dig more. I mean, that's skill.
Yeah, to find more what?
I like to point out that he got all defensive about his games, and we didn't attack him. Then as soon as you say something,
No, I'm attacking this game, not your guys' list. I hate this game.
Anyway, I think it's a great
Your fault for
family.
bringing it up twice.
It's a great family style.
maybe it's on your
game.
list. It'll be a 3-way crossover.
One thing actually about my list is that most of the games on this list are really good-looking games. I don't know what it is about exploration games, but
Yeah, they are.
they usually look good.
Yeah,
Anyway, my number 8 was Thebes.
Maybe it's kind of I can't say it's boring.
Yeah, but you don't want to turn over a
Life.
tile and you're like, oh,
Great.
Right.
I found an A.
Yeah.
What is an A list?
All right, what do you got?
All right, my number 8. Now this game doesn't actually have
A theme.
an exploration
It's
mechanic.
Yiddish.
It has an exploration theme to it.
right.
Oh, you're gonna get garbage.
And that is Francis Drake. Now the thing is about Francis Drake is that you're not doing this mamby-pamby exploring, let's find more information. You're like, where are the bad people? We're going to go shoot them. And that's what you're exploring for.
Saying some people gonna die?
Yes.
Okay, now this is probably the weakest one on your list so
I haven't
far.
played, so I cannot give
No
you
way.
garbage. But my representative here,
Francis Drake is
Hello.
exactly you are.
I'm sitting in for Zee Garcia.
You are exploring the Spanish Main, looking for at the Queen's behest Spanish galleons to blow them out of the water, Spanish forts to blow them off into the water.
Okay, well, you kind of know where most of it is.
You do, but you don't know the strength of them, so you do have to flip over tiles to find out how strong a base is, how strong the galleon is. There is an exploration mechanic there. Now this one slid up my list a little bit because I like it so much. And I like the look of it, and I like the fact that it's historical. So that's my number 8, Francis Drake.
All right, well, my number 8 is the fastest exploration game on my list because you're exploring, but you're doing it within 10 minutes. and that is escape. And to me, there's definitely, it's like, okay, we're going to go over here. What's this tile? Ah, it's that. Especially when you add in some of the expansion tiles, you might find a weird idol or a room that you're trapped in briefly, or all sorts of things that people have to come and rescue you.
Right.
I really like the feel of exploration in this one, even if it's fast, and the tension level is higher than the... In many exploring games, you turn over time, you're like, ooh, wow, that's cool. You don't have time in Escape. You turn over, you're like, oh, all right, go! And I like that aspect to it. It's exploration on speed, but it's definitely there, I think. That's Escape.
Number 7.
My number 7 is a game which has sort of a quirky exploration game. I don't even know if you guys are going to consider this exploration.
Oh,
per
then
se.
no.
But the game is Tobago or whatever. Tobago, I think it is. And in this game, you have a land mass with different features, and you, the players, sort of together decide, really, you're supposed to be finding where there's treasure. But you sort of, by playing cards, narrow down where there's treasure till there is one place that fits all the rules, and then you jump in your Jeep and drive over there as fast as you can, and you dig it up. I love that this game is so... The system is pretty ingenious. It's a very unique game. And the game looks gorgeous, the bits are amazing, and it sort of has that drive through the jungle and dig up stuff and see what you find. And even though you're technically deciding where this stuff is, so it's close to your Jeep, it feels like exploration to me. It feels like you found a piece of a map that tells you, near the rock, dig, and you shall find. And then you're like, okay, but which one? And somebody else comes running with a piece of map going, oh, it's by the water. And, I like that. I always have a blast with this game. Tobago is an excellent family game, and that is my number 7. Cool.
It's kind of like an exploration game in a backhanded way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get what you're saying. It feels like it.
Exploration. Explore!
Oh. I don't remember what I was going to say now. Okay, but it's you're right. The exploration's there in the spirit.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I can.
Well, if accepted Sam's, we'll accept that. All right. My number.
Well, this garbage.
Now I'm the bottom rung.
My number 7
The least of
is another plaid hat game, and this one is Mice and Mystics. This one has another strong exploration because of the story.
Right.
Like you're on the board and you're doing things. Oh, now we flip the board over and we're on the other side. Now we go to a new board. But each time you go to a board, something will happen. Hey, we're at this board now, and the kitchen mate's trying to hit you with the broom, mice or whatever. Now you go to this one and there's a cat, or you go here and there's roaches, which is not nearly as exciting. That's really disturbing there, Sam. So, but I think Mice and Mystics, because of the story and the mechanisms of the game, provides a very strong, let's go forward and find something new and exciting. You're following a good story procedural.
Right.
So my number 7 is Mice and Mystics.
Okay.
My number 7 follows the whole thematic realm, where this is a game that is thematically about exploring while you're actually going through the game. It doesn't really feel like you're exploring, but that's exactly what you are doing, and that is Discoveries, the Journals of Lewis and Clark, the new dice game that just came out.
Well, the one I was going to say at the beginning of our video was Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
Which is not on my list. I don't think you guys like it nearly as much as I do, but it's a game about exploring. It just doesn't feel like you're exploring.
Yes.
That's what I would argue with both those
it's a
games.
worker placement race game, technically.
And the one you're talking about is a dice manipulation race game.
Using the dice to explore the land.
Right.
So you're saying the theme is exploring.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said.
Okay.
This is just a theme exploration game, and it's a really good game to boot. So if you enjoy dice rolling, and it's a beautiful game, and you enjoy the theme of exploration, this is one that you should definitely go check out. It's weird because it's one of those games that plays very simply, but the more you play it, you see also how complex it can be. Because the trick to winning Discoveries, and it shouldn't be all about winning, I understand that, but the trick to doing well in Discoveries is being able to fire more than one exploration card at a time. And that can be kind of tricky once you're trying to manipulate those dice and you find out, I'm just one die short, what am I going to do? There's a lot of good decisions that you have to make there. So go check out Discoveries if you have not yet already.
Yeah, cool.
I like the game a lot, but I wouldn't have even considered it for the list because I don't. At no point during the game do I feel like I'm exploring.
It's okay. You
Okay.
got the right to be wrong.
Number 6.
My number 6 is a series of games. The newest one is not out yet, although it should be out.
And garbage.
Yeah, garbage.
Well, we played it at Gen Con. And then the second edition, I don't even think I played the first edition of it, and that's Runebound. Yes,
You
Runebound.
play it, you just watch.
I watched you play.
What I like about Runebound is you're constantly just going around this board and you're running into enemies or you're finding adventures. And I think that the newest edition, the third edition, is the best yet at the exploring mechanism of it, where you're like, I'm going to go here, and then you turn a card over. Okay, this is what I'm dealing with.
Okay.
You go here and turn a card over, and this is what I'm dealing with. And you kind of
Holy shnikes, I'm not going there. Come in.
Okay, it's not Arkham Horror.
Oh, it's not? Not yet.
But lest people jump over me, I think the second version of Runebound also had a high level of exploration where you would go over here and there'd be some sort of monster that you'd fight, and you never knew what monster you're going to run into. And then when the game got to the end, you were fighting these massive dragons, but there was one main bad guy riding a dragon, the dragon
Rider.
king monster thing. I forget who it was. Anyhow, but you're like looking for him around the board. And because you were hunting them down and looking for different monsters, I thought it had a strong exploration. And so that's Runebound, second or third edition. I think the third edition is not even called that. I think it's just called Runebound.
Probably.
Either way, that's coming out really soon, I think.
I wish I would have been okay with including whole series of games, including editions that are obsolete. But I didn't, which is why my list was a little bit harder to make.
Man, he's going for the throat.
Anyway.
And this is after he put Mission Red Planet on his list. Here we go. I don't care what this next game is, man. It's
I stand on the side of right, so I don't care.
All right, my number 6 is our second crossover, I believe.
And this is the last game
Runebound.
in the garbage half of the list, right?
Well, if you would like to call it that, that's fine, but it's a crossover with your list.
I mean,
So.
that's what I'm going to write on the...
Okay, it's a crossover with your list.
Let me
Just keep
guess.
that in mind.
It's Ink and Gold.
Ink and Gold, that is correct.
Yeah, like the garbage one, number 10. My 10 is always a ruse. It's a
Okay,
bluff.
so disregard all of these number 10s. So he only comes up with a number 9, a top 9,
Top 9
with
is
a
the way
garbage
to
one
go,
thrown on
baby.
top. Okay.
You're still doing better than Eric does at his top 10s usually.
Ink and Gold is actually a really smooth, streamlined game that really does feel like you're exploring further into a cave, because each time you turn over that card, there's that tension that just builds with each one, especially when you get a couple of baddies out there and you're like, oh, is that next one gonna, that kind of thing. So completely belongs on this list, and that's Ink and Gold.
All right.
All right. My number 6 is one of the newer games on my list. I've kind of been giving this game a lot of love
So it's like
lately.
2000.
And this came out in 1988. And no, the game is Dead Men Tell No Tales. This is a co-op game in which
Alright.
you are
That's cool.
you're exploring a pirate ship that is also burning, and you are looting it, trying to get out before the thing kills you. It's fun. I like the exploration part of it. It's got some neat combat also. It's got some interesting fire manipulation that happens that the game sort of takes care of, and it's interesting. But the exploring the ship part, I really enjoy. I like that. I like, stepping into the next room and there's a zombie. I was going to say zombie. It's not a zombie. Like a skeleton there. Or there is a trap door, and all these undead deckhands are going to start pouring out of it. And it's cool. I like the exploration in it. So, my number 6, Dead Men.
Solid choice.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Wonder if it's
Cool
going to be on
co-op.
your list.
I don't think so.
No, it's not on my list, but I think it's a good choice, though.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5. Now we are out of the garbage games. Apparently.
He said it. Quoting him.
I don't agree with that assessment, by the way. I think those those bottom 5 were all good games that definitely have an exploration feel to them. Number 5, though, I think I'm going to preempt you on this one. I think this is going to be on your list in the top 5. I really do think so. If not, I'll cry foul.
All right.
But that is Lost Valley. Lost
Oh
Valley.
yeah, man, are you
is this
kidding?
game.
That's
better
one
be
or
on his
two.
list. Yeah, exactly.
That's it, one or two.
So Lost Valley is it's not one of my favorite games to play. However, it does have a very, very strong exploration feel to it, where you are in essence finding brand new lands as you explore out from the river, and you're flipping over these things, and you have the choice of how you can manipulate the land in choosing the triangles or the rhombi or whatever you might say. But this is one of the ones that was the first one to make my short list because it has such an exploration feel to it. So kudos to the designers on that one. My number 5, Lost Valley.
Cool. You're right, I have felt a shift in your list.
Well, there's a few games that suggested themselves onto my list right away because I think that there's not that many games that both have an exploration feel and are about exploration. And Lost Valley is one of the few ones that is both. I just happen to not like it.
I would like to have more of these games made.
I agree. There's just not that many. All right, my number 5 is a little game put out by Victory Point Games. It's called Gem Rush. It's a card game. And in Gem Rush, you start with a single card tile. You know, they act as tiles. And it's a set collection game in which you are playing specific gems from your hand, from a second deck of cards, to step out of that room and sort of explore these caverns. And each room in the caverns has a power. If you are on it at the end of your round, you can trigger that power instead of the standard draw a card or draw 2 cards or whatever to replenish your hand. And it's really cool. You can play actually the game 2 ways. You can play cooperatively, or you can just try to get a certain number of victory points before anyone else. I like that way better. The co-op is, it's okay. But it's got a real, for such a small package, this is one of their small games, it's got a great feel to it. And it's speedy, it looks very good. I like all the powers. Every time I flip over a new tile and I read what it does, I'm like, ooh, okay, cool, I like that. I'm going to stay there this round. And I get to flip over the next 8 cards, and I keep every orange gem. Ooh, all right. I like that kind of stuff. So it's a fun game. My number 5, Gem Rush. Check it out. This game gets almost no love, but it's a cool one.
Let me ask you this, because you're making it sound interesting. How are the components?
They don't have... Yeah, the components...
Yeah, bad components.
Yeah, the components are that laser cut stuff that's all sooty, and then the cards are...
Artwork is not good.
Artwork's a little dark.
Well, there you go. That's why it's not getting the love then.
It does not look good at all.
Right. But I do like
it's a decent game.
I like the gems on those gem cards don't look bad. The artwork, I don't think it's that bad. I just think the construction is Victory Point Games.
No, I didn't like the artwork.
All right. Well, my number 5 is exploring kind of in a sci-fi setting, and that is Room 25. Now, Room 25 is essentially, if you've ever seen the movie Cube, it's essentially the same thing. Okay. You're in this set of 25 rooms, a 5x5 grid, and you are exploring through these rooms. And some of the rooms are instant death. Other rooms are rooms that can move around the board. There's this whole, I'm going to go find stuff and move around. And I like playing with the aspect where one player is a traitor. He's trying to get everyone else killed.
What happens if you go in a room with instant death?
You die.
What do you think, Sam?
You respawn?
No, but...
real life.
No. You can like look in rooms, take time to look and see what's in the room before you just walk into it.
Okay.
So Zaya, the shorter game, it sounds like.
Not really though. This game has a little bit of, when you add the traitor element, we all need to find the exit. So where's the exit? But the traitor person is trying to get someone to die along the way. And there's various ways.
There's one person to die?
I don't remember how many players. 1 or 2 players.
I win, everybody! I'm over here!
No, the traitor does reveal, usually after a while you're like, yeah, that guy's the traitor.
We should all go over here. I think we should go this way.
How about just you, small
No, it's like when one person's like, I'm going to... Anyhow, if you've never played it, they're coming out with a sequel to it, which I think is a standalone game and works with the original. I'm excited to try it. You guys have never played this one, but I don't know if you would like it, but I'm pretty sure you would.
Okay.
It's an interesting game. That's Room 25.
Number 4.
My number 4 is, I think, our third crossover now.
Wow.
I think there's
Makes it easier to edit.
I think there's going to be more.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a few.
Oh, I know you and I are crossing over on one of these high ones. I know we are. And if not, I'm gonna foul, and you're out of the
This might
room.
be my last crossover. Although my number 2 might be a crossover.
I have your number 2 on my list. It's my number 3.
I doubt it. My number 4 is one that Z has already mentioned. That is Dead Men Tell No.
Wow.
You put it higher than I did. Wow.
Because I think it has a completely strong exploration feel to it, much more than some of the games that are on my list.
Yeah.
And it really does. When you turning over that new tile, or when you're adding that new tile, you're like, what's going to happen? You know, that whole idea. What's going to come out? Am I going to find some treasure, or am I going to find another guardian? You know, is that guardian going to be somebody I can defeat to get the treasure? You know, that type of stuff. So that feel, and every time I play this game, I always think about that line from Batman that the Joker's, some men just like to see the world burn. You know, that type of thing. Because that's exactly what this ship is all about. It's just, I mean, nobody in their right mind would get onto a ship that looks like this.
No, I think the captain has a whip, and he's like, get on and get out.
You're going to die there, or you're going to die here. Well, you choose. You know, that type of thing. So
Be nice to the pirates.
I am. That was
stereotypical pirate talk, and I object. I believe he sounds like
my
this.
ancestors were pirates.
My dear, I would like you to get on that ship.
that was insensitive. I'm sorry.
Okay, anyhow, so...
My number 4, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
All right. My number 4 is a game that's way out of print, although Z just introduced me to a redone version of it. So the game on my list is Starship Catan, although the new version of it is North Wind, which is a game with pirate-ish, a little bit of a pirate flair or merchant flair.
Right.
And the other one was basically you were a space merchant. Now, Starship Catan, not Starfarer's Catan, Starship Catan. The reason it's an exploration game, and I like it so much,
Recognizing his pirate talk.
Oh, okay.
is I'm not doing pirate talk because I'm doing the Starship Catan one. Is that there's 4 piles of cards in the middle, and you are going into one of the decks of cards. You'll turn over a certain number, and it's shuffled, and you're never really quite sure what you'll find. Although as the game goes by, you learn what's in each of the decks. And so you're looking for that. You're trying to make your ship have a bigger engine so you can go down more cards. Sometimes a card will come and it will be defeated or out, and then a new card gets added. And so there's this exploration feel of going into these decks. And it doesn't sound like it, but it really comes across well thematically wise. And the North Wind, right?
Yeah.
The North Wind one has the same thing, although I think Starship had a stronger exploration feel just because some cards got added.
Right.
And they aren't. But still, you're like, oh, I want to go find this tile. At the beginning of the game, you don't know what pile it's in, and so you're looking. And then when you find it, you're like, I'll go exploring there to find that.
Well, you start to learn where you can buy things efficiently, and then the pile you should go to sell something, the pile you should go to upgrade, whatever. You start to sort of figure out where things are, where you want to go.
You know, thinking about this, I'm actually going to add this to my pickup and delivery games. It's kind of like you're picking up from one card and delivering to another. But that's a different thing.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, that would have been North Wind. I've never played the original. My number 11.
Would it have been? Okay, well, I like I said, I like North Wind. I thought it was a good follow-up, especially how beautiful it looks. But Starship Catan had a stronger feel of exploration, just slightly.
They need to come out with an expansion for North Wind.
Uh-oh.
Call it Breaking Wind.
Z, what's your number 4?
All right, my number 4 is not an awful pun. Well, maybe you guys will think it is, actually. This game gets almost no love. My number 4 is Relic Runners. Relic Runners put out from Days of Wonder. Again, another gorgeous-looking game in which you are running around the jungle uncovering temples and flipping them over and seeing what you found at these places. They make you better throughout the game, or they'll give you points, they'll give you upgrades. You are also eventually building paths for yourself where you can get on those paths a little faster because I guess you've explored them, you know what lies ahead, and then ultimately finding these relics, which are these stunning looking plastic pieces. That's it. The game is both about exploration and feels like exploration, which I really like. And it's a game, again, that doesn't get a whole lot of love. I'm not sure why, but I think it's awesome. So my number 4, Relic Runners.
Number 3.
My number 3 has been mentioned in talk by Z when he was mocking Room 25, but I like this game a lot, and that is Zaya, where you go out and explore, and you find new sections, and you find the sun, and you go out and find different...
the sun. You fly into the sun. Anybody see anything extremely bright
and really, really hot?
Anybody? Anyone? Oh, there it is. Get out of here.
Hey, but did you see a real
I think it's more like you just... I think it's more like you just make like a hyperspace jump into the sun.
And then you land in the sun.
Right, which would be dumb because you can always check before you fly into these things. Well, I did warn you.
All right. You did, but what were the chances? It was like the first time I explored. Every time I was in that, I'm like, I'll forget this. I'll jump around blind a little bit. Boom. I flew right into the sun. First time I flew.
Anyhow, I love the exploration idea of Zaya. I like going around and just finding different configurations of planets is pretty cool for me. So my number 3, Zaya, Legends of a Drift System.
All right, my number 3 is Robinson Crusoe, Adventures on the Cursed Island. And in this one...
I knew this would be on your list.
Yeah, this is sort of one of the first ones that I knew would be on the list. The game is cooperative, and there's a lot more going on in the game, but exploration is a big part of that. Finding not just the lands that you sort of, from the beach, you move into the island and you discover what's there, but then also... what you run into gives you a great narrative and a great exploration vibe where you like come across the tracks of a tiger or something. And the card says, "Oh, you've spotted some tiger tracks. Shuffle this card into this other deck and it might come back later." And later on, you're not even remembering that card anymore. You flip it over, it's like, "Hey, guess what? That tiger, he's back." and he's mauling your face. And the game just has a great story-driven aspect to it and a great exploration feel. Lots of scenarios, solid game. My number 3, Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I was looking for games, I kept scrolling past Robinson Crusoe.
Why is that, Sammy?
Thinking, I'd love to include that game on my list, but I have yet to play it.
I think you've said that in almost every top 10 we bring it up.
I'm going to until I play it. Yep. All right, my number 3 is a game that I just saw being played at our...
So you haven't played it.
And that was enough? You saw me play the thing? Oh, my top 2 are games I've heard about.
I own it. I play it. I just haven't...
My number 1, I just go by the title.
I haven't seen it being played in a really long time. So when I saw it on the table as we walked into the Rock on Tuesday night, I was like, awesome! Do you remember?
I'm really trying to remember what was being played. I meant they were playing Kingsburg. That's not exploration.
I called last Tuesday night at our meetup group Classics Night because I don't think, except for our table, I don't think a new table was...
No one ever calls my table Classics.
Played. This is Batu, Storm of the Horns.
That's right.
And this is a game that I have talked a lot about from Red Juggernaut. And I really enjoy the game. It's a very simple mechanic where you are Mongol hordes invading a city, and it's kind of a mini exploration game or micro exploration game because you're just exploring different districts within the city, and exploring is kind of a nice term. You're not exploring, you're pillaging. And as you go in to these different...
Don't do your Mongol voice.
Doing, that's not... I'm not...
Don't do your offensive Mongol.
Can't speak that language, and I don't even think... They don't have an accent. I guess they would have an accent.
I would assume they do if they speak in English.
If they speak in English, but I've never heard... Never mind.
There's that new Marco Polo series.
You're a monster. Batu, Storm of the Horse Lords. So you're coming in at different gates of the city, and as your army moves in, you have to flip over these tiles that tells you what's there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes you got to fight, sometimes you get other things. But it's a really neat mechanic where you're exploring the city that you are actually pillaging. So that is Batu, Storm of the Horse Lords.
I think the game itself is okay, but I will give you props on this list. It definitely has a strong exploration feel because you're looking for specific things.
Yes.
Number 2.
All right, my number 2 is yet another co-op. There's a lot of co-ops on this list. And this one...
A big shocker.
Doesn't...
A lot of co-ops on your list.
on his list too. This one doesn't necessarily. It's not. I mean, it sort of is about exploration, but it's more about survival even.
No.
This is Forbidden Desert. In Forbidden Desert, you are
Okay, yeah, I see that.
moving around this land that you know nothing about except where your ship landed, basically, where you crashed. And as you move on tiles and spend actions to reveal them, then you'll find artifacts, you'll find tunnels that you can hide in to avoid being killed by the sun. You will find water, you will find mirages that don't have water, but you thought they might. So lots going on. And then, of course, you'll find the coordinates to these pieces of a mysterious ship that you need to find and build and get out of there. I like the exploration aspect of this one a lot. It's one of my favorite aspects of it. I like the way the storm will slowly shift everything around on the board. I like every tile, no matter what you get, is sort of interesting to reveal it. Even when you flip over a tile and go, okay, there's no water there. That sucks, but at least we know it's got to be over there, or it's got to be at one of those two. You know what I mean? And so the exploration of the land, for how simple the game is, really, and it's just like what 5x5 maybe, like 24 I think, because there's one empty one, 24, 20 some tiles. It's really neat and gives you a lot of exploration fun in it. So my number 2 is Forbidden Desert.
I thought it was that your ship had fallen apart and crashed, and you have to find the pieces.
No, your ship is
crashed
gone.
on
You're
a
finding a new
helicopter.
ancient weird ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your helicopter crash and you're finding some mythical machine.
Yeah, I never read that part of the rulebook.
Well, I mean, there's a
just wanna know how
helicopter
to
on
play
the
the game.
on the tile you start. There's a busted
I
helicopter.
got you.
He doesn't even look at that either.
You
Just
don't
go.
look.
Play the game.
Just play the
Go
game.
mechanisms only. I don't care about no themes.
All right, so we're on 2s, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, my number 2. Now, this game,
Now hear me out now.
for one side of the game, for one team, I guess you could say, for 4 of the people, it definitely feels like an exploration game because you
go.
are going
I
into
know
a
what this
base
is, all right.
and you have a definite objective and you have to find out where that objective is. The other person, though, the alien player, is the one that is setting up those rooms or different things. So for most of the people in the game, it feels like an exploration game, but for one, it is definitely not. And that is level 7, Omega Protocol.
No, I got you on this one.
As you go into the
tell you the
base, you
list?
don't know where anything is. You have I thought it might be, but that's fine. You have a list of things, usually one, sometimes a more, of things you have to do within the base. But you don't know exactly where they are. You have an idea of possibly, based on intel and all that other kind of stuff, but you have to explore each and every room.
Mm-hmm.
And where the actual objective is depends upon where the alien player put that objective. So you're exploring the base trying to find out where you are, but as you're exploring, aliens are popping out and you're trying to take them out to get to your objective. Hands down, I knew it was going to make my list, and it's one of my favorite games in existence, so I put it at number 2, level 7, Omega Protocol.
No, I think that's a very solid choice, especially with the different piles of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know that I really considered. I don't know if it'd make my top 10, but it's certainly a good exploration
Well,
game.
when you said you didn't include Descent and Imperial Assault, I thought you might have included this one.
That's true. That would be a good choice.
Descent and Imperial Assault were both on my short list, but I discluded them because the exploration feel to it was just not really there. Although in Imperial Assault, I will say this: there have been many times where I have bing, open the door and yeah, there's a cannon right in my face. So there is an exploration feel to it. It's just really weak. It's more
It
just a
hurts.
dungeon
The
crawl.
exploration feel hurts the face.
All right, I'm going to irritate Sam with my number 2.
Oh, here we go.
Which I actually thought,
there it goes.
I thought this would be higher on your list, but it was only number 3 for you, I think.
Oh, okay.
And that was Robinson Crusoe, which I think has a very, very strong exploration for the same reason Z said. And I love the idea that you go pick something up and bring it back to camp, and now you attracted a bear, because he smelled some fresh meat that you had or whatever. The idea that things come back to haunt you
Sounds
later on.
interesting.
You've played this, Sam, right? If you're gonna hit anyone, hit Tom.
I'm not the one making fun.
It's higher on his list.
Anyhow, Robinson Crusoe and what's cool about the exploration of Robinson Crusoe is also that it's also very different based on the scenario you play.
Yes.
I mean, we recently played the downloadable King Kong one.
Intriguing.
And we were going and hunting down the different things, and
we kind of explored too quick also. We were sort of getting whooped.
Let me say this. If you haven't played Robinson Crusoe, you should. You're obviously not in a very good gaming group if you haven't. They don't love you. So Robinson Crusoe, my number 2.
I don't know how much more obvious you can be than that.
And finally, number 1.
It's time for the big roll-off!
Oh, Wonder thing, roll high for me.
20!
19.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Should we even roll?
I'm rolling 20. Hey, check this out. I also got a 19. And then he knocks Tom down to 11. And
Roll off! Roll off!
Roll off.
Yeah! Another 19!
That is way. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Best.
If it happens again.
2. 6. All right. Just for that, I'm going to make Tom go last. I'm going to go first, then Sam.
Well, I know what his is, and I think you guys know what mine is, but I have no idea what yours is. Unless it's... No, Forbidden Island doesn't have exploration in it. Let me look at my list here.
It's an older game. It's probably...
Okay, I'm going to guess Tikal.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is. All right, my number 1 is Tikal.
That's because it's on my short list.
Tikal is was the first game I thought of when I thought of, we need to do a top 10 exploration game. I'm like, Tikal is on it. What else is on it? Because it's one of the few games that, again, is about exploration and feels like exploration. And those games are just not that common. I don't know why. You were talking about this a moment ago.
Make one of those instead of a zombie game.
More games about exploring, digging into the jungle or whatever, and hacking away at the vines and finding a temple and exploring that temple. I mean, this game is all about that, and it is rich in that theme. The game, like I said, it's an older game. It's maybe 15 years old, something like that.
That may be when Sam and I first played it.
Yeah, but
it was in Kunsan.
Yeah.
It's got a great vibe. I really enjoy it. It's a little bit longer. It's a little bit deeper. There's some set collection in it, which is not as thematic as it could be, but everything else in it just fires on all cylinders for me. I love the look of this game, the vibe. This is a game I don't get on the table very often, but every time it does hit the table, it's an amazing adventure. And that's why I like it so much. Tikal is my number 1 exploration game.
It was my number 11.
Cool. Sam.
All right.
So you know his, you said?
My number 1. Yeah, I told him it was going to be when I left yesterday.
Oh, well, that's garbage.
No, it's...
He told me because he was trying to prep me for arguing against him, but it's still going to happen.
You shouldn't have a problem knowing what my number 1 is, because it pops up on many different top 10 lists. Because
think about 4X. Explore, expand, exploit.
I was wearing my shirt yesterday that says explore, expand, I forget what the third one is, and then exterminate.
Explain yourself, because this is a garbage choice.
No, it's not a garbage choice.
Okay, what is it?
You have to explore in this game. Period. End of discussion. If you don't explore in Twilight Imperium 3, you cannot do well. You have to leave your home system. And sure, you might know that there's 2 planets in that system over there. There's 1 planet in this system over here. You know that. That's fine. You don't know what's on that planet. There's a little token there that when you drop guys on there, your guys might go bye-bye. And
so a Room 25 style.
They might, yeah, kind of. But... or when you drop guys on there, they find indigenous peoples that kick their butts, or you have to fight them, or you find more resources that help you in your war machine effort. So there is a definite exploration feel to Twilight Imperium 3. This guy doesn't think so, but that's because he's wrong.
Look, I like Twilight Imperium. I'm just saying that you see everything at the beginning of the game.
No, you don't.
Are you talking about Forbidden Suns? Because I don't even play with that.
Yes, you do. We have played that before.
No, I don't play with that because I hate that. I hate Forbidden Suns. It's the one part of Twilight Imperium I will never play.
We have played it before. I know we have.
Well, I understand that, but I don't like it. It's random. It's like, I went to the planet and you guys get killed. You like that?
That's exploration, yes.
I would argue that at least half the people who play Twilight Imperium hate that expansion as much as me.
Maybe so. But if you take that away, the person who has the best army always wins.
No.
I would imagine.
No.
The best player, the person who has the best fleet, yes.
Well, yes, I agree. The best player wins.
And the person who has the best fleet.
How?
Because there's nothing to stop them from expanding.
I will stop them.
No, you won't. Not if they're on the other side of the table. You can't even hardly even get to them without getting through everybody else.
No. So you're saying you
I
only
play
play
this
with Forbidden
game more
Sons?
than Tom Vasel,
Wait.
so I am the expert here, not him. TI3 is my number one.
Well, I mean, you may take longer to do a math problem. That doesn't mean you're smarter than I am playing it.
Take longer to do a math problem?
Shut up. We're gonna both smack you. All right.
You done?
He's done.
Oh, I'm done. I'm right. So that's
All right.
period.
No, I like Twilight Imperium, but I don't like Forbidden Stars.
We got his
or Forbidden
Valley.
Sons. Forbidden Sons. So therefore, I won't add it to my list because I like Twilight Imperium without that. That to me is just that random nonsense. You can get really lucky and do super well.
I play it that way more often than not. The last time we played it, we used it.
All right. Well, that's fine. I'm just saying I personally hate it.
That's fine. You have the right to be wrong. That's fine. It's okay.
All right, my number one you've already called, and it was on Sam's list, so he can't get on my case, and that's Lost Valley. And I know Z doesn't like this game for some inexplicable brain blockage
Not
reason.
inexplicable.
It's too long.
Boredom is what the explanation
Oh, it's
is.
just too long.
It's
Okay,
not
it's
Short
long.
attention span.
No, it's not that long. It's not exciting.
So to me, I like it because, yes, you're not finding temples and you're not finding stuff, but you are finding gold, which is exciting. And I love how it goes together. You turn a tile over, you're like, ooh, this is exactly what I wanted to see here. Oh, there's some animals here I can shoot. I don't know how to explain it because when I talk about it, it doesn't sound that exciting.
Because it's not that exciting.
But it is. And it's fast and it's fun, and I love putting that map together. It gives me a sense of exploration. It's sometimes compared to another game that came out about 12 years ago called Goldland, which is a horrifically not good game. I don't like Goldland at all.
Right?
Yeah, but there's some... You can get like trapped in a tile and not be able to get out, which I hate.
Okay.
But I love Lost Valley. The new version's nice. It could have been better, but it's still... But it's still... The game itself, just quick exploration going around and building a forest and things. I like it.
I would say building the board is probably more exciting than actually finding the gold sometimes.
I'll give you that.
Because
I like the shapes, and building the board is cool.
Yeah.
I just don't like I have a horse. What can I do with a horse again? Oh, right. Oh, I have to cross the river. Oh, I got
the player right there.
I know, but it's not fun. Like the stuff you do is so mundane.
You can eat the horse.
Wait, are you
delicious,
kidding?
but
You don't know what to
point-
do with the horse? Come on, it's very thematically.
I play catch with horses.
Okay, anyhow.
Throw the horse.
My number one is Lost Valley. So those are our favorite exploration games. What are yours? Who's right? Who's wrong?
It's okay if I'm wrong, people. I'm okay with that.
You're not, because when I say you're wrong, you're going to come in and tell them why they're not in the comments.
Ooh, watch out.
Fisticuffs! Alrighty. Well, we'll see you guys again shortly. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zee Garcia, thank you, folks.
Sam Healey. See you on the flip side.